I'm now going to invite someone who has walked a road less traveled and is with us today to share her story. But before I really welcome actor, producer, television presenter, and politician, Ms. Khushbu Sundar, who is in our midst, before I invite you, ma'am, here's an audiovisual. Take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, she will now address us on what men think women want and what they actually want, lessons learned from living a life less ordinary. Let's welcome her on stage with a huge round of applause, Ms. Khushbu Sundar.
Good evening, everyone. It's such an honor to be here on this dais among all the women, especially, who are bold and beautiful and women of substance. I feel very small in front of this crowd. The time is very less, clock starts ticking. I have 10 minutes to tell my story. 49 years of my life, to squeeze in 10 minutes is impossible, but I'll try my best. What women want. I think we all know what women want. What I want to live my life. I want to live my life on my terms. I don't want someone to tell me, don't do this, don't do that, don't go here, don't talk to this person, don't go here. You know, these don't do's, ye karna hai, wo karna hai, who is anybody else to decide for me? The only person who has the rights to decide for me is the woman who brought me into this world. And I stand here today because she told me that you have to live your life on your terms. You have to tell the world that here I am as a woman who lives with all the freedom as men, because I was born with 3 brothers in a very, very conservative Muslim family. So you can imagine my plight. 3 boys, the last girl, in a conservative Muslim family, you can't do this. Well, but here I stand. I think the first thing we need to start at home. You know, it irritates me when you hear, even in today's times, like they said we are moving towards the 75th year of our independence, but we still have this notion at home. You see a man crying, kya yaar, ladkiyon ki tarah ro raha hai? Arey, so what? Khali ladkiyan roti hain. Hasti auratein, rote aadmi achhe nahi lagte. Un pe bharosa nahi karna chahiye. I think I laugh the most. Even in my sleep, my husband says, you keep smiling. मुझ पे भरोसा नहीं करना चाहिए. I think करना चाहिए यार, इतनी दूर पहुंचे हैं तो करना तो चाहिए. कुछ तो होगा. We always talk about breaking the glass ceiling, but it's always, that term is always associated with women. Breaking the glass ceiling. Arey, look at that woman, yeah, she's breaking the glass ceiling and going ahead. Arey, yaar, let's look at a man and say he's breaking the glass ceiling and going ahead. Nobody terms, men with those things. It's only with women. I want to live. What the problems I face in today's times, what we are talking about, women coming out and speaking about the problems they have faced, been through all, whether it was the sexual abuse, whether it was depression, whether it was hunger, whether it was poverty, failure, success, everything. But I realize I have become a very, very strong person the day I learned to say no. Trust me, that one word, and you need a voice, and that voice is not going to be somebody from behind you. That has to come from within you. You have to learn to say no, whether this is about inequality, whether this is about any kind of an abuse, whether it's about people telling you what to do, what not to do. You need to take a stand for yourself. 86, I raised a question to my father, which he thought was absolutely unacceptable. And he took that opportunity to dump us in the middle of the road and leave. Me, my mom, and my 3 older brothers in an unknown city of Chennai. Absolutely new to that city, we didn't have a place, nothing. But he thought that how can a woman ask a question, that to a 16-year-old? But when I look back, I feel that was the best decision of my life because I had the courage to raise a question. Because if my father didn't have to dump us, I wouldn't have the courage, that inbuilt strength what I have to reach where I am today. Again, in 2005, when I spoke about women, protection, when I spoke about how women cannot be left to fight her problems alone, when I spoke about, yes, there is a premarital sex which happens, we need to address the issue, we need to speak to the children about it, the parents need to educate the children, the schools need to have a subject which teaches what sex is about. And I was labeled as those terms in Tamil, somebody a woman who does not have a virtue, a loose woman. अरे यार वो औरत सेक्स के बारे में बात करती है, ठीक नहीं है यार, उसके साथ दोस्ती मत करो, आपके बच्चे बिगड़ जाएंगे. 5 years I fought those cases in Supreme Court. And here again, I'm glad because that opened the floodgates for people to speak that yes, there is premarital sex. Yes, there is a problem. Yes, there's a problem of HIV. Yes, women are fighting AIDS. Because everywhere you see, even when it comes to AIDS, it's women who are completely outcasted. They have been asked to move away. We talk about living in a progressive world, but yet there's a section who still thinks that it's fine to live on the terms of the society. We take pride in calling ourselves हम आज के ज़माने के हैं. But somewhere deep down, the thoughts still go back where you have a streak of misogynist in you. We need to move out of that. I think every woman in this auditorium will agree with me that I want to live my life on my terms. How many women feel that you have to live life on your terms? Can you raise hands, please? Very few. Okay. See, there's still a little hesitation, हाथ उठाऊं या नहीं उठाऊं. I like that. So I will be the first person somebody asks me, I will not hesitate for a moment, and I'll go straight. And because the minute I walked in, they handed a placard saying that, which one would you like to pick? And I said, I picked up something which said, this is me, I speak my mind, and if people think I'm a bitch, I'm fine with it. So it's perfectly fine with me. I care two hoots about what others think about me. What's important to me is that I live life with a lot of honesty. Until you do not have honesty in your life, that means you're living a life on a lie for others. You're not living your life. जब तक आप अपने आप अंदर से खुश नहीं होंगे, जब तक आप में वो जोश नहीं होगा, जब तक आप ये सोचेंगे नहीं कि मुझे जो चाहिए वो मुझे करना है, तब तक आप आगे कैसे बढ़ोगे? आप अगली पीढ़ी को क्या सिखाओगे? आप आने वाले, for me, my biggest challenge is, my younger daughter is here, my 16-year-old, my biggest challenge is to be an example to my girls, both the girls, that my mom is the strongest. And we have to live life on our terms. Yes, I belong to a family, I'm married into a family where, except for my husband, you still live into those closed ideas. But I have been fighting it out. I have been talking about it. I have had the freedom to speak because I was successful. So women who needs to speak have to be successful? Yes. But then to be successful, you have to speak out. You have to learn to live the way you want to live. And what men want out of women, I think it's important for men to understand. It's not about the men in this closed room. I think the men here are wonderful men who really want women to succeed, to go out, live life. But there is life outside this room. The people who are beyond these walls do not understand the language we speak. The people who are beyond this, out on the streets, whether it's Delhi or Chennai or any part of this country, there are men who do not understand why women want freedom. मैं कमा के लाता हूँ, मैं तुमको खिलाता हूँ, तो तुम मेरी बात मानो. That is the attitude of men, and that needs to change. We are talking about gender equality. We are talking about gender equality because we do not want to believe that women can be equal to men. I'm saying women are far superior than men. They are superwomen. Every woman of this country, whether she is an entrepreneur, she's an actor, she's a politician, or she is a simple housemaker, homemaker, a housewife, I think she is an achiever. Who wakes up first in the morning? It's a woman. Who sleeps the last at home? It's a woman. Who looks after everyone? The men go out. They go out and work with a lot of peace. It's because they understand that, oh, my wife is back home. She's taking care of my aged parents. She's taking care of the home. She's looking after kids' education. She's going for the parent-teachers meeting. Everything is taken care of by the women of the home. Yet, you need a permission from your husband to decide whether you can go for a movie or you can go out for a chat with men. How do we change that? I think we need to change by saying, it's me, it's about me, and it's always going to be me. Till I am not happy from within, I cannot share my happiness with others. Till I am not complete from within, I will not be able to give myself completely to the people I love. Till I am not confident of myself, I will not be able to walk on this path I decide to take. Till I am not ready to accept my failures. It's fine to fail. There's nothing to be ashamed of to fail. I think that gives you the biggest courage to accept that you have failed at times, because they say in schools, आपको lessons पहले दिए जाते हैं और आपके exams बाद में होते हैं, test बाद में होते हैं, but it's only in life the tests are first and then it gives you the lessons. So it's fine to fail. I have failed, and I'm not ashamed to say that I have failed. I have derived the courage from my failure. I have understood what it is to succeed after a failure. I remember a point when I was thrown out of 5 films in a day. In a day, I was thrown out of at the peak of my career. I made one wrong move, and I was thrown out of 5 films in a day, and I was jobless overnight. But then I knew that I'm going to come back on my terms. I knew I'm going to come back with more josh and more enthusiasm, and I did just that. When I came back to films after 5 films being dropped out of 5 huge films, I came back, and believe me, I charged, my remuneration was just the double of what it was before those 5 films. I think we women have to first get hold of ourselves. We women have to understand ourselves. We women have to stop thinking that I'm going to walk 2 steps behind my husband. We women have to stop thinking that it's fine if a man thinks that he is above you. No, no man is above you. Nobody is above you. A woman stands all by herself. A woman has the courage to face any kind of problems in this world. A woman has the Shakti to deal with anything in this earth. Most of the Shakti goddesses what we have, whether Durga or anybody, you say, it's all women. Even Shivan derived his force from Parvati. We need to understand that until unless we do not decide to stand on our own feet, we do not understand that I have to. If it's a fight, yes, put up a fight. There's nothing wrong. You have to protest. You have to fight. I mean, come on, this country had, we could get freedom only after we protested and we had a fight. We had a struggle. So it's fine. It's within our blood. Let's fight it out. And it's not, the problem about women is not in India alone, it's world over. But today we are going back in a regressive mode. Every day you'll see, my heart bleeds when we have to discuss about women menstruating, we have to talk about Me Too, we have to talk about women aborting, we have to talk about rape victims, we have to talk about so many problems women are facing today. And the worst thing is, we start when a woman is raped, we talk about whether the woman was a Hindu or a Muslim. A woman is a woman. A woman is complete on her own. We need to stop thinking what women want. Because this idea of what women want, I think one gender which needs to understand what women want are the men, not women. The day women decide that I am complete on my own, I can be on my own, I am on my own, because I am what I am, because what I want to be. I think you will not need these kind of debates to talk about what women want. I stand here to say I have achieved what I wanted, but I'm not going to stop at this. I want to achieve more. I want to move on from films to politics. Yes, there is struggle in politics. My very good friend Sushmita is here. She will know what struggle in politics is about. Everything happens in politics. You're manhandled, you have problems, you're not allowed to grow, you have been pushed back. The insecurities from others, they feel that you're going to overtake them, push them behind. All these happens, but I'm going to fight against all odds and come up. Because I know what I want. And I want every woman to understand what she wants. Because still she does not realize that, she can never ever come up in life. She can never compete with herself. You don't have to love a man to prove that you're a woman. First look into the mirror and look at yourself and love yourself. Look at yourself into the mirror and say, oh wow, I'm beautiful. I love myself. I'm the best thing that has happened to this planet. So I'm going to achieve. People are going to turn around and look at me and say, here goes a woman of substance. When you walk into a room, people need to look at you for all the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. And the wrong reasons, trust me, we do not understand them. It's the people in the room who are going to decide for you whether they're right or wrong. Let the wrong be with them. Let's walk with our heads up and say, this is the right for me, and I'm going to take the path never taken before, and I am going to be successful because that is what I am. A woman of substance, a woman of today, because I know what I want. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.